Welcome to the Daily Thunder Podcast. I am your host, Brandon Rahbar, beat writer for dailythunder.com. Every week, we will have guests ranging from national sports writers and local reporters to OKC celebrities and Thunder staff and players. This week, we're hosting a Reddit AMA. That's Ask Me Anything for those who don't know. I'll be talking to a Thunder Reddit moderator and asking him Thunder questions AMA style. We've also compiled AMA questions to us from the Thunder subreddit. And stick around for some Thunder-themed betting advice like you've never heard before from the Tipoff YouTube channel. And now I'm here with a Thunder Reddit moderator. We call them mods in the Reddit business. Jordan, how are you doing, man?
Pretty good. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing well. So your mod name, though, is it Seldeer?
Seldeer, yeah.
Okay, cool. It's always interesting how people come up with their online names. How'd you come up with Seldeer?
It would reveal too much personal information if I answered that question.
Spoken like a true mod. Thank you.
Right.
So what I thought we'd do, because this is Thunder Reddit themed, AMAs are really popular on Reddit. For those who don't know, AMAs is Ask Me Anything. And on Reddit, it's usually a celebrity, in this case, a Thunder mod. But Reddit users can just basically ask them anything. And it doesn't have to be particularly about the movie or show or music that they're promoting at the time. It can be anything and everything. Literally, ask me anything. So I thought it'd be fun to do that with you. Are you game?
Yeah, I'm game for that. That sounds fun.
Okay. Jordan, how has moderating influenced your fandom?
It has definitely shown me a little bit more of the darker side of the Thunder fandom, because we have to remove a lot of very, I'll just say like hateful comments that people are making, and not just from the Thunder fans, but all fan bases, especially like teams we're playing that night that we maybe beat, and they get salty and they'll come, post different stuff in the sub. So I guess it's kind of given me made me a little bit more callous towards NBA fans. I'm kind of like, what are you doing? It makes us more like suspicious of users coming from other fandoms, which we have flares for that. So, but I guess that would be the main thing, is just the amount of different weird stuff that actually gets posted in every subreddit that's not related to the subreddit at all.
Who is the most salty fan base?
Up until they signed LeBron, it was definitely the Lakers, because they have so many quote unquote fans. They can just ruin your subreddit if they want to. They just call out and then they can come. It's called brigading. They'll come brigade your sub with like Lakers posts and different stuff like that. And second would probably be the Rockets. They're a very salty fan base.
I was wondering, pre and post Westbrook trade, how have Rockets fans changed?
They did a huge 180. They hated Russell Westbrook up until they got him in a trade. And then now you see a lot of the same things that we were doing, the Rockets fans are now doing, because there were a lot of times when we sort of had to defend, Russ and his play style to like the whole rest of the NBA. And so it's kind of been a relief as a Thunder fan to not have to do that anymore and still get to watch Russ do his thing for the Rockets and see their 180, where they now love Russell Westbrook, which is great, but they're also playing that kind of Russ defense on Twitter and on Reddit and different social media formats and stuff like that.
Speaking of loving Russell Westbrook, what was up with the whole controversial Russell Westbrook birthday post?
That was an ordeal. We had a rule where you weren't supposed to make a post about a former player unless it was Wednesday. So 6 days out of the week, you weren't allowed to do that. But on Wednesday, we called it Way Back Wednesday, you were. And so it was just an innocent Tuesday. I was like going through the mod queue, and there were like some Kevin Durant posts, and I was removing those. And then there was the Russ birthday post, and I just kind of mindlessly removed it.
It was you.
Yeah, it was me.
I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to interject while you're doing your AMA. I'm sorry, but that was a bombshell. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm enemy number one on the Thunder subreddit. But yeah, it caused a backlash, and the community spoke and said that they wanted to rescind that rule, the way back Wednesday. They didn't want that. And so we did it because obviously, we're working for the community and not trying to control everything. And I think it's been good because ever since losing Russ and losing Paul George, the subreddit has been a lot slower. And so having more diverse posts and stuff is good and keeps the sub full of new posts. So you're not just coming in and seeing the same thing a few hours after you last checked it or something like that.
What are the best memes so far from this season?
Man, that's hard. There are a lot of good ones. I really like the Dennis pointing at the scoreboard or at the timer that has our record on it. I like that meme.
As a Reddit lurker, that's my favorite one.
It's cool to see that after a win. And then the Lou Dort holding up the W. My favorite memes on the subreddit are actually made by this user named Thick Bagel right now. He's posting memes in there every day, and they're cracking me up.
Thick Bagel shout out. Nice.
Thick Bagel shout out, yeah.
Oh, Marry, Date, or Kill Super Bowl Halftime Edition. Shakira, Jennifer Lopez, and Janet Jackson. Who do you marry? Who do you date? Who do you kill?
Marry J-Lo, kill Shakira, date Janet Jackson.
And what? I'm just curious. Why are you killing Shakira?
I know about Janet Jackson and I know about Jennifer Lopez. I don't really know anything about Shakira. So
Gotcha. It's the unknown.
Yeah.
It's too risky. I get it.
Can't have that lurking out there.
From your memory, what's the most upvoted post of all time, or the most upvoted post of recent memory, or both, if you can think of them?
Oh, of all time, I think it was when Kevin Durant left.
Really?
Yeah, I think that could be the most upvoted of all time, which is crazy.
Yeah, you think that'd be the most downvoted post of all time.
Yeah, I mean, but it's for visibility,
Right.
And then I think the second most upvoted of all time, it's something like all caps, Kevin Durant is a snake or something like that.
Now that makes sense. I probably upvoted. I'm a lurker, but I probably got on and upvoted that one. If you could get any Thunder player to come on and do an AMA past or present, who would it be?
I would think either Nick Collison or I would say Reggie Jackson, but that would just be like, what were you thinking while you were at OKC? So I'd say Nick Collison.
Nick Collison, good choice. He would be a fantastic guest for an AMA. His answers would be great.
I think so too.
Who do you think is the most lovable and Redditable Thunder player currently?
Currently, it is Lugwentz Dort, no contest.
Is he kind of the big buzzy guy right now on Thunder Reddit? The one that everybody's talking about?
He's the belle of the ball on the Thunder subreddit. Everybody loves Lou Dort. I made a post yesterday talking about the death lineups, true shooting percentage, and I had to include a lineup with Lou Dort in it because I knew everybody was going to ask for it. He's got a very high ceiling in the Thunder Reddit's mind, and in my mind too. I love me some Lou Dort.
So do I. I am down to Dort, which I'll get to later. Do you know if any Thunder players have ever lurked or posted?
Kevin Durant has lurked and posted on Reddit and on Twitter.
That is the least surprising answer ever. Do you have any way to see if Daryl Morey was the one downvoting Russ MVP threads in 2016-17?
I don't have any way to see that, but my money is
But he was.
That it was him, yeah.
Yeah, it absolutely
Definitely.
was. Yeah, him and his burner accounts, I'm sure. Jordan, thank you so much for joining us on this Thunder Reddit AMA. You were a fantastic guest. And anything you'd like to promote before we get off here?
Just the subreddit. Get in there, post some memes, talk about Lugwentz Dort, and as they say, I won't say the actual word, but thunder the F up.
Thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
So I'm excited about this segment. We talked to Jordan. I drilled him and gave him an AMA. Now I get to be drilled by users on the Thunder subreddit who came up with AMA questions for the Daily Thunder podcast. And I'm joined by Rachel Jamison, our producer.
That's me. Hi.
And you have questions from the Thunder subreddit to us, correct?
Yes, many burning questions for you, Brandon.
Ooh, now that we're past the trade deadline, I don't know how people even came up with questions. That's all anybody wanted to talk about. And of course, that was the big, or maybe it was exciting, honestly, that the Thunder didn't make any moves at all. And you know what? I just thought, Rachel, we were going to do a wrap up on that. That's what we were going to do.
I know. Personally, I'm just excited that we can stop talking about trading Steven Adams here for a little bit.
Yes, your love for Steven Adams lives to fight another half season at least. So now that the Thunder have traded nobody, so there are no trade questions. So what did the people from Thunder subreddit want to know?
Well, the question that's on everyone's mind, Brandon, especially fourth line orange peeler, is are you down to Dort, Brandon?
That's a classic fourth line orange pillar question. Yes. So, I mean, I'm going to give props to fellow Thunder podcaster Andrew Schlecht and former Daily Thunder podcast guest Andrew Schlecht for being kind of the first on the Lou Dort bandwagon. He was on that early, though I don't want to, hop on and steal any thunder here, but I was on him. I saw him in summer league, and the dude looked legit. I mean, even then, you could see the defense, you could see the hustle. I knew that he was projected to go like late first round, and the fact that he went undrafted, I think he went under a lot of people's radar, but he was kind of always on my radar because I knew that the pedigree was there. So, although I may not have been down to Dort as publicly as my good friend Andrew, I was kind of like silently thinking this guy could be legit, but I didn't push all my chips into the middle of the table from the very beginning like Andrew did. So he deserves all the credit for being down to Dort before anybody else, and he really needs to coin that phrase and put a shirt out.
Has he not?
I don't know. He needs to. I know I'd buy one. Yeah, I am down to Dort, and I would proudly wear a T-shirt that says so, that proclaims my love for Lou Dort. And I'm really excited that he's in the starting lineup. And it's crazy. The dude isn't even practicing with the team because they don't want to expire those 45 days that he's on the two-way contract before they need to save money. So he's not even practicing, Rachel. Everything he's getting is just from film because if he practices, that counts towards his 45 days. How crazy is that? He's a rookie two-way player that is not practicing with the team, but he's starting with the team. That's unheard of, and he's doing a fantastic job. The guy's got a future. He's kind of my second, obviously behind Shea, favorite building block going forward, even more so than Baisley, which sounds crazy. But yeah, he's legit.
Presty does it again.
Yes, he does.
Okay, next question, Brandon. This is from Money Boy. Boy. It's Booy.
Oh, that sounds like money, boy.
Oh, that's way better. This question's from Money Boy. Do you think
we sound so lame and white?
Always. Do you think the front office expected the Thunder to be this good?
Yes and no. I can tell you from firsthand knowledge, from being around Thunder staff, that there was a little bit of a confidence that this team is better than what people expected. I think that Presti knew when you have a team that has Chris Paul, Danilo Gallinari, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Steven Adams, just those four in the starting lineup, it's hard to tank with that team. That team's going to win some games. And of course, Dennis Schroeder was obviously a good player, but what he's done this season has been, unreal. And that's the thing. I think that there was a belief that this team was better than people expected, but not this good. So that's the no part of it. Chris Paul is better than he's been in years. I don't think anybody expected that. Danilo Gallinari, obviously, he's doing what he's always done. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's taken even more of a leap than I think that people expected. Steven Adams has been better this year than he was the last couple years. And probably the biggest deal, though, is Dennis Schroeder. I mean, he's been phenomenal. He's going to win Sixth Man of the Year. His shooting, his finishing at the rim, mid-range, 3-point percentage, everything across the board has been better. So I think that they expected to win some games and kind of maybe be in that 10-11 spot, whereas most people expected the Thunder to be in the 14 or 15 spot. And I think that the team thought if they're 10 or 11, come the trade deadline, trade a few guys, and then, kind of go towards the bottom, lose more and more games, get a high draft pick. But Everybody's played out of their minds. The chemistry has been off the charts. And so, how do you break this team up? Well, you don't. Sam Presti decided, let's ride this out for the rest of the season and just kind of see what this team can do. Let's not use any assets to get anybody else. I wouldn't be surprised if they got somebody from the buyout market, maybe to help on the wings a little bit. Somebody to maybe take those Nader, Diallo, Ferguson minutes, but just ride it out with this team and see what happens for the rest of the season, because this is a lot of fun and the fan base is really excited for not selling off when he absolutely could have. He could have got more first round picks for Schroeder, Adams, Gallinari. And if he got an offer that blew him away, he probably would have, but he probably got some good offers, but not good enough to break up the fun of this team.
Bill Amsterdam wants to know, has CP3 ever expressed that he would be happy to stay in OKC beyond this season?
He hasn't come out and said that, which obviously is smart on his part. You don't want to put expectations out there either way, one way or another, because the future is so murky with Chris Paul and what's going to happen. Who knows what he's going to want to do, what the team's going to want to do, if those are going to line up. But I will say this, I know this for fact, he is having a lot of fun with this team. He genuinely likes the organization, the team, the players, the city, the fans. I can tell you, just, being around that locker room and seeing him around these guys, it's not an act. He is really enjoying it here. If the Thunder want him to be here and the team is competitive like this going forward, I'm sure he'd be happy to stick around. He said, and I thought this was a great quote, at this stage of his career, he just wants to be where he's appreciated. That's a big, wise quote from a smart player. He's kind of been in a lot of places right now, and I don't think he was appreciated in Houston like he should have been. And he feels appreciated here by the organization and by the fans. And I think that means a lot to him. So I think he'd be open to it. It just kind of depends on what the team is going to do and whether they're going to, sell off assets that they want to stay competitive, because you can't take with Chris Paul. He's too good. You can't do it. So we'll see what happens next year, but he's loving it right now.
Okay, last question for you, Brandon, from Brent B. He wants to know if the Thunder could win more playoff games this year than in the previous 2 years.
Yes, because the bar isn't that high, unfortunately. They won one game last year against the Trailblazers, which still blows me away. But I will say that there were injuries there that didn't get kind of enough. Obviously, I know that the Blazers were injured too. They didn't have Nurkic, but Paul George was playing with zero shoulders. Russell Westbrook was banged up. Steven Adams was banged up. Of course, Robertson was gone, if you count that. And then the year before against the Jazz, won 2 games in that series. I think this team, whoever they play, whether they end up in the 4, 5, 6, 7 spot, I think whoever they play, as long as they don't play the Lakers, I think that they can steal 2 or 3 games even. They might steal a series from somebody if they get matched up right. I think that they could beat the Jazz or the Rockets in a series, which sounds crazy to say the Rockets, but with the Rockets being small now and with the Thunder having Steven Adams and Nerlens Noel. Oh, and I didn't mention him earlier, but he's played out of his mind as well. Just everybody across the board. I think the Thunder can steal a few games from anybody, maybe still a series from the right matchup. Even the Lakers, I could see him winning 1 or 2 games, which would be as much as the last couple of seasons, or even the Clippers. So yeah, this team at this point, nothing they do would surprise me because they keep on surprising us. This bunch is just, they have a lot of fight in them. They're competitive. And they're never going to give up no matter how much they're down in any single game. And when the playoffs come and the rotations are shortened, the Thunder have a solid top 7 or 8 guys that you could stack up to most any team. So yeah, I'm excited to see what this team can do in the postseason. Again, there's no expectation, so anything they win is great. So the answer is yes. They'll win more than they had the last couple seasons in the postseason. Which is nuts, though. This is supposed to be a rebuilding transition, maybe even tanking year, and they could end up being more successful than they were the last 2 seasons when they had 2 top 10-ish players in the league. Absolutely nuts what this team is doing, defying and exceeding all expectations.
Such a fun season.
So thank you to the Thunder subreddit for those great questions. It was kind of fun being on this side of the AMA, I got to be honest.
Do you feel like a celebrity?
I was going to say, I kind of do. Yeah. I'm kind of I guess I'm kind of a big deal.
Wow, you should post a picture of you holding up a thing so people know it was really you answering the questions.
Just to prove it, because nobody's going to believe it. They're like, that was the Brandon from the Daily Thunder podcast on the Daily Thunder podcast answering our questions.
Pick or it didn't happen, Brandon.
So we've got something a little special and different for you this week. Some Thunder-centric betting advice from the Tipoff YouTube channel. The Tip-Off is a daily video from Gabriel and William Allen that tells you who to bet on for each NBA matchup. They have been right on every single prediction, and they prepared a special segment just for our listeners. Again, there's a 100% guarantee on all these picks.
This is a special edition of the Tip-Off, where we usually tip you off on today's NBA matchups, how to gamble, how to bet. But today is the first in a new series of weekly weather reports, where we tell you whether the Thunder will go over or under a panoply of prop bets proposed by the Daily Thunder, our host. Gabe, what's the first wager?
Steven Grizzly Adams, how many times he's going to be kicked in the crown jewels. The over-under line is set at 0.5. I'm going to go under here. Again, Marcus Smart is a big threat here. He could get matched up onto Adams at some point in the post. He's known to do that, to switch on to big men here and there. Former teammate Eanes Cantor could be in the mix as well. I'm guessing that Steven's gems remain uncut and unharmed for at least one more week.
I hope you're wrong.
You hope I'm wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's sick.
Well, it's not that I want to wish him any harm. I just want to win the bet.
All right. Next, we've got how many pump fakes from Darius Baisley from Beyond the Arc. How many three-point shot attempt pump fakes? The over-under line is set at 12.5. Again, I'm taking the under. Baisley isn't earning a lot of minutes at this point, and I don't know who's biting on those pump fakes. But when in doubt, always throw in a pump fake or two. Under.
You say under.
Under.
I say over. This broadcast is over.
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet.
All right, last one. We've got a number of times down to Dort will appear on Twitter. 99.5 is the line. I'm going over. By my calculations, there were 41 tweets between January 27 and February 3rd mentioning the line down to Dort. This is the week that Down to Dort takes off, so be sure to hit send on that tweet before it goes mainstream. And then it's not cool anymore. Over.
Under.
All right, that does it for this episode of The Tip-Off, where one of us is always right. Thanks for tuning in.
We highly recommend checking the video out of these predictions. Trust us, changes everything. And subscribing to capitalize on their sage advice. The link will be in this week's show notes. Thank you for listening and for supporting Daily Thunder. If you leave us a review in Apple Podcasts, you just might hear it on the show. Thanks to Jordan, the Thunder subreddit moderator, for joining us today. And be sure to check out the Thunder subreddit for all kinds of fun Thunder talk and lots of memes. You can follow me at Brandon Rahbar as I cover the Thunder beat. If you become a patron of the show, you'll receive early access to Daily Thunder content, including bonus podcast segments, along with a weekend edition, a rundown of the best stories, news, tweets, and shenanigans from the Thunder universe, complete with a letter from the editor written exclusively for patrons. You can join today at patreon.com/thunder. This podcast is produced by Rachel Jameson. If you want to see her embarrass herself every week, gushing over Steven Adams, be sure to follow her at Rach Jameson. Send your questions and feedback to dailythunder@gmail.com and stay on dailythunder.com every day to catch the latest Thunder news, recaps, analysis, interviews, and all kinds of nonsense. We'll see you next week.